Hey race fan, Brian Davis races, and you can too. Today is the day before I go start racing for 10 days straight, or 8 days straight. 8 days straight, that's right. So, Tour of America's Dairyland started yesterday, and today is Friday. I can't race yesterday or today, but I'm going to start on the weekend. I took all next week off of work, and I'm going to race every single day. I'm hopefully going to get content out to you guys every day, but I'm not quite sure I can get that done. In any event, what I thought today's video would be is just a quick overview of how to prepare for a race. So the goal of this channel is to grow our sport, grow our knowledge, and grow our fitness. And today's really talking about growing our knowledge, especially if you're new to cycling. I want to talk to you about how to prepare for your first race, because it gets a little crazy when you're getting ready for your first race. And most of that is a problem in your own head. So I have a checklist that I put together on my phone, and my plan is to go through this every single day. Morning, food care, or body care, bike care, and just be totally prepared. So the more checklists you have, the less stress, the less unknowns pop up in your day. So that's really my focus, is to keep things very, very consistent throughout this week. Now, absolutely apply the concept of having a checklist applies even if you're just getting ready to do your very first race, because you're going to be stressed out, you're going to be anxious, it's going to be hard to sleep. So you need to get ahead of that and plan for that. So I'm just going to run you through some examples of things I'm doing today to assuage my anxiety about racing tomorrow. So one of my key tasks is to prepare my race bag. Right now this is totally empty, but by the end of tonight I'll have this totally filled with all the stuff I need to race every day. I am going to be carpooling a lot, so I really want to try to keep my footprint pretty small of all my stuff. And then I'm going to think about my cooler bag. Everything's going to be packed in here, and my plan is to just keep it very consistent, keep my meals very consistent, keep my snacks consistent, keep my bottles consistent. Everything is consistent, so you don't have to do much thinking. You just do the same thing day after day after day. So tonight I'm going to make a huge batch of rice, sweet potatoes, and ground beef. And I can mix that in a salad, I can make a burrito out of it, I can just eat it by itself. It's very versatile, and I can switch flavors. I can make it more Italian, I can make it more Mexican flavors, so I can switch things up throughout the week, and that way I don't get sick of it. I am going to clean my bike today, but I'm going to try to be really light on maintenance when you're getting ready for the race. So a common problem that I used to do all the time was get my bike ready, and I'd find something wrong, and then I'd try to fix it. And I try not to do that anymore. So I went for a spin earlier today just to shake down everything, make sure everything's working. And I think it is. I did notice that my chain was pretty dry. So last week I tried doing a wax dip, and I'll have a video about that sooner or later. I haven't quite figured out my process yet, re-lubing my chain. So I bought an ultrasonic cleaner. I'm blasting it off tonight, and then I'm going to use a lubricant, wax lube, a liquid wax lube, to get back up to snuff for the race. So light bike maintenance. And then I do things like make sure I have redundancy. So I have an extra set of shoes, so if I do crash, it's really nice to have an extra set of shoes, because a lot of times when you crash, you screw up your shoes. I have an extra helmet. In case I crash, I have an extra helmet. Typically I'll leave those extras here because I don't want to fill up the car that I'm carpooling with, but it's nice to know they're available, they're ready, and I rode on my spare shoes today just to make sure they're good. I changed the pads on my helmet, so everything's nice and fresh, doesn't stink like sweat. Another important little tip is to make sure that you race your bike or ride your bike in all sorts of weather conditions. So what I figured out a couple weeks ago when I went out on a rainy ride is that these wheels, carbon rims, are absolutely atrocious in the rain. And I've had carbon ribs in the past, but these are next level suicide risk. There's no way I could race on these wheels after that ride. So I'm going to bring my aluminum wheels, and then I have a set of dedicated aluminum brake pads, and I brought the extra brake shoes just in case the pads don't fit in these calipers. But I just wanted to talk about this because I think it's a really important part of approaching racing, is how you are, the anxiety you deal with when you're getting ready for racing. So My advice, do the best you can to have a checklist of everything so that you have less stress, less unknowns, and that clears your brain and lets you find some time to sleep. I'll give you one last tip. I actually saw a hypnotist a couple of years ago, and we had a couple of discussions about physical triggers to kick off a series of thoughts. So this is my physical trigger, these two fingers rubbing together, to calm myself down and relax. So when I go to bed at night, this is what I do when my head hits the pillow, and I have a very specific set of thoughts that I go through, very few of which are related to cycling, but maybe this week I'll mix a few of those in. The point is, I just want to relax. Interestingly, these two fingers rubbed together is what we talked about as when I shut my brain off for sprinting in the final lap of a race. So I'll definitely be using that as I'm holding the bike going into the last lap. All right, thanks for watching Brian Davis Races. If you like what I had to say today, please give me a thumb, give me a comment. What do you do to prepare for your races? And please do subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you're notified when I put out new content, which I will be doing a lot this week. Thank you. Bye.